Ciao Belly, it's me, Babza Jr. I know, it's been a while. Hope you've not missed me too much. I would if it was me. I finally managed to put a little video together, so here we go. As you might know, the DLC for a little game called Elden Ring is dropping this week. Not gonna lie, and I'm surprised I'm saying this, but I'm well excited. If some of you have watched my husband's JK Lead streams, you probably know that I wasn't a fan of Souls games after trying DS1 many years ago, and nearly chucked controller, TV, console and husband out of the window. But Elden Ring was the game that really got me into the Souls series a couple of years later, and I've played all the other games since. So, to prepare for the DLC, I thought I'd clear up some bosses and dungeons that I had left on my save file, so come have a look. For this first part, I'm rocking my Dex and Faith build, using the Winged Scythe as well as lightning or fire incantations, depending on my mood. My husband, JK Leeds, I mentioned him earlier, really wanted me to start off with this dungeon called Spirit Color Cave for some reason. I obviously didn't trust him when he told me I'd have a massive smile on my face when I saw what the boss was. And I was right not to. He's a fucking stupid godskin apostle. I got here a low health the first time after clearing all the dungeon's enemies, and he killed me almost instantly. Hence the runes on the ground here. Oopsie daisy. I had to stick in the Night Garden reference there because he's my son's favourite, so don't mind if I do. Back to the stupid apostle. I decided to go full two-hand scythe for this one. The L2 does awesome damage on the apostle, when you don't completely miss it, that is. But thanks to the hyper armor in combination with my aggression, he goes down shortly after. Well, that wasn't so bad. Are you fucking kidding me? At this apparition, my husband was literally on the floor laughing while I was considering divorce. If there's one thing I hate, is the Godskin Noble. Our damage is still good, but his attacks just seem to catch me off guard, and this rolling move. Oh my god, this rolling move. He actually very nearly killed me at one point, and things got extra dicey when he rolled again. I was panicking a bit and found myself out of heals. He was one hit from death, but so was I. Thankfully, I landed an L2 to finish him. Wait a minute, is it not over? He was this goddamn snail all along? Fuck you, snail. But, as tough as that was, it turns out that I had actually missed the hardest boss in the game on my first playthrough. Time to rectify that. Here it is, in its full uncut glory. Babs the Scyther Waifu versus Rick Soldier of God. Now, one thing you might know about me if you've attended JK Leeds streams is that there are certain creatures in these games I find cute, and in Elden Ring is the little living jars. I don't normally use summons, but when JK informed me I could summon 3 little jars to help, I knew that I had to give it a go. With the Soul Jars of Fortune upgraded to +10, I wanted to see if they could solo the Erdtree Barrier Watchdog. Unfortunately though, these imps came to ruin the party. To the jars' credit though, they did take out most of the imps. I took care of the last one just to speed things along though. So now it was just the jars versus the watchdog. There were some points where a little cute jar seemed to struggle to hit the watchdog, even though they were up close, but I guess they do have short little arms. Aren't they adorable? Given a bit of time though, they worked it out and managed to lay a bit down on this annoying statue. Great work, boys. Mama is so proud of you all. After their success there, I thought the lads might like a tougher challenge, so set them up against the Cemetery Shade in the Khalid Catacombs. This actually turned out to be easy though. Even though I got stuck in place at one point, they just beat the hell out of this shade in short order. They grow up so fast. Now, at this point, I decided to try a bit of a different build after noticing I still had Malenia's Remembrance in my inventory. I really love Malenia, so it was cosplay time. With the hand of Malenia's sword in my right hand and the Scarlet Ionia in my left, I donned Malenia's armor set and I was ready to go. How badass do I look? I thought a good test would be up in the Dragon Barrow cave, taking on the Beastman of Faru Mazula duo boss. Dropping down, I summoned my boys and went to work with Waterfowl Dance on the Cleaver one. This actually made pretty sure work of him and looks beautiful as well, so it's a winner on all fronts. With the cleaver one down, I flew in with a flurry of slashes on the throwing knife, but of course, let my little Jarmy finish him off. Jarmy. I might have just found my DLC build. Back over in Liurnia, we head into the Academy Crystal Cave, where the Battle Mage enters the Babs Blender and goes down in short succession. Unfortunately, the boss of this dungeon is one I'm not a fan of. Ian the Crystal and his brother, who is also called Ian the Crystal. I especially hate Spear Ian with his jumping pokes. Just piss off! I tried a Scarlet Aonia here, which did manage to break Ian's poise, allowing me to successfully one-shot Ian with a critical attack. As for the staff Ian, the Jazz ganged up on him in the corner, and despite spamming magic, they easily took him down with no issues and then celebrated by walking really slowly. The Jazz really put in work. Even this giant stone digger troll was no match for them. These guys have really served me well, but unfortunately there was a difficult boss waiting in the wings for which my Jazz would be no real help. In Hielu Annex Tunnel, if that's how I pronounce. How do you pronounce this? Yelu Annex Tunnel. Yelu Annex Tunnel. In Yelu Annex Tunnel, Astle of the Stars awaited. I now had to go round 2 with a boss I found really annoying to fight the first time round. One good thing though is that Astel can be rotted, so I was determined to inflict rot on him with Scarlet Aonia. Unfortunately, this attack is really slow and leaves me very vulnerable, so actually getting this off cost me a lot of heals. I also got caught by his mega annoying grab attack, but thankfully I had just enough health to survive. Although this left me with 1 Estus and Astel with over half his health. Now, you might not know this, but the rot from Scarlet Aonia is actually the strongest rot in the game, so it does a lot of damage over time. This, combined with some well-timed slashes, got Astel down to nearly 25% health, but now I was without heals at all. Things were tense now. Astel introduced his new grab move with multiple clones of himself. Now, my husband would say that I somehow managed to dodge miraculously, but I say that it wasn't a miracle at all and that I'm just that awesome. Due to a really well-timed Scarlet Aonia, right in Astel's face, we got him rotted again. Pretty much all I had to do was survive and victory was ours, but my health was looking pretty low now. I dodged and weaved through his attacks, gritting my teeth as he went for the grab again, but thankfully I dodged and shortly after he was finished. Tough fight. I'm really getting my reps here for the DLC. With all the minor dungeons finished, there were just a few field bosses to unlife before I could boldly claim I'd beaten every boss in Elden Ring. Lots of Knights Cavalry, of course. I'm not sure why there's so many of these guys. They're probably one of my least favourite field bosses in the game, given how much they run away and jump around. I wish they'd just stand still and let me beat them to death. But one of the more intense encounters came fighting the Black Blade Kindred in the Forbidden Lands. This guy is immune to rot, so he's down to a stellar swordplay to get the job done. Despite his thick hide, our damage is good. I often think I'm not good at dodging in these games, but here I was pretty proud of some of my dodges. I didn't even need to go full waterfowl. Some normal slices after dodging were sufficient. After just a 90-second fight, the staff enemy goes down. Just 2 bosses remain and then I'm DLC ready. But unfortunately, one of these bosses is a death-right bird. I already killed this thing's stronger brother over in the Consecrated Snowfield, but it doesn't make it any less of a pain to fight. It can of course be rotted, but again, being left vulnerable against this thing is a bad time. Even though I didn't think they'd be super helpful, I still brought the jars out to maybe distract the bird a little. I actually fell off a cliff at one point and hoped the bird might chuck himself off after, but no luck. I did, however, get really lucky and survive his big explosion attack at point blank range when I mistimed a waterfowl. Of course, I did that on purpose. With my next waterfowl, I took off most of his health, although nearly killed myself on the process. I decided YOLO, and because I'm all about aggression, I went for one more attack and thankfully ended this pretty annoying fight. The terrain was the real boss here. Lastly, what better way to finish off than with the knight's cavalry duo? Because one stupid duo isn't enough, it seems. Thankfully, you can lure them away, but both have to be killed for them to stop spawning. For the flail knight, I lured him in for a Scarlet Aonia, letting the rot do his job. It was hard to get waterfowl on him thanks to his erratic attacks and movements. Once he's off the horse though, it's easy to get a lot of damage in, although sadly he interrupted me with his attack before I could get the third wave of waterfowl off. But thankfully he died shortly after anyway. The second one went much the same, perhaps a bit smoother in all honesty. The only bit that was annoying was running out of stamina before I could finish him off after I knocked him off the horse, but I downed him as soon as he remounted. I can just hear JK reminding me to watch my stamina, which is nearly as annoying as him torturing me with puns 24/7. We did it! Every boss is dead! Although there's one last thing I want to check out though. I've heard the legend of a laser shooting golem hidden down a cliff in Caelid. I'm interested to see this for myself, so after some platforming that I didn't record because I obviously nailed it on the first try, let's give it a go. I'll be honest, I didn't really know how these lasers were gonna work and got absolutely destroyed by them on my first attempt. This golem has 35,000 health for some reason, more than most bosses in the game, and this small arena that's easy to fall off doesn't make for a fun time. It was a tough fight, and after nearly 8 minutes fighting him one time, I died, which made me nearly throw my controller across the room. Then I remember I have a child and I need to set an example. The actual winning attempt took over 10 minutes. I found that normal R1 slashes work better here than using waterfowl, as being locked into place is too risky with how much damage you can do. It was a real battle of attrition, with me hacking away at his ankles and trying to keep the hell away from the edge. The lasers at least don't move around once they fire initially, which makes them easy enough to avoid once you know how. I still took a fair few hits, and the last 4 minutes of the fight I was without Estus, terrified that this long attempt would end in me dying and lightly chucking the PlayStation out the window again. But somehow I managed to stay alive, even with only a fraction of health remaining, and after about 1,000,000 slashes this guy finally dies. That's a truly Bub's victory right there. Right, well after that, I'd say I'm ready now for the DLC. Would you guys be interested in seeing a video of my adventures in the DLC? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give a like and subscribe. Maybe I can reach 1,000 subscribers soon, and thank you so much to anyone who has subscribed so far. Thanks for watching anyway, and ciao for now. I'm done, how do I stop it?